I really like Death Grips.
They're great.
Um, apparently there he goes. He's
Jeffrey,
fucking gone.
Jeffrey
This
hates
again. God
he
damn
hates
it, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey hates experimental noise rap. I've heard their concerts are cool if you enjoy like getting beat up, but they have some. Dude, have I ever shown you guys? I'll bring this in next time. Have I shown you the photo of when I Okay, this is a plug. There's a metal band in Chicago, which is not even always my favorite genre, but they're called We Weren't Invited, which made for a very funny Abbott and Costello like moment when my mom went, "What concert are you going to?" And I went, "We weren't invited." And she went, "But you're going." And I went, "No, I know, but the band's called We Weren't Invited." And she's like, it took a minute, but they are great. Really fucking good. Hung out with a couple of them. But their shows are fucking insane. And when I went to one of theirs, someone did a backflip off the stage, and I showed back up home to my girlfriend with a boot print on my face. And it was there for like a week. It was pretty cool.
The cool part was you getting a boot print on your face.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw a guy with a boot print on his face, you'd be like, that's a cool guy.
I
Yep,
would
that is
think
what I would say. That's
I would
exactly
think
what
that
I
guy
would
got
say.
stepped on.
Yeah,
That
maybe, I
basically stepped on.
mean,
And then I'd
no,
be like, why did he get stepped on? That would be
Does
my
he
next
like
question.
being stepped on? I would
I
think
I paid for it. That was it.
Hmm.
paid good money to get my face stepped on.
100%.
Hmm.
Shit doesn't come cheap. Jeffrey, no. Jeffrey, stop. Put it back
Sorry,
in.
zoned out. Sorry, I was having Jeffrey time.
Jeffrey time goes on the Patreon.
Jeffrey Time
Yeah,
And
does
only on
go
the
on the
Patreon.
Patreon.
you're right. Sorry, that was exclusive member content. Jeffrey time, Jeffrey time. It's Jeffrey time. Now it's Jeffrey time. It's 5 minutes past Jeffrey time. Don't
I'm
you wish
sorry,
it
guys.
was
Hold
still
on.
Jeffrey
Samantha, cut
time?
this.
No problem,
Yeah.
Avery. I could just keep singing. Jeffrey time's the time of the day that Jeffrey gets all to himself. No mom or dad can tell me to stop because it's Jeffrey time.
I don't care for Michael Mann's
This
movies.
is me in fifth grade.
Hell yeah.
Good. That's
The
tight.
eighth, I broke my regular glasses, so I had to wear my sports goggles, and the eighth graders called me Goggles. Why don't you like Michael Mann?
I don't like movies about LA.
Okay, that's honestly the single most valid critique of Michael Mann I've ever heard. And I don't like movies where like they're always like New York is a character. New York has character. So I watch it and I'm like, it is like it's another New York movie, but New York is a presence. I watch LA and I go, this is a lot of highway. This is a lot of lights on the highway. And I think Michael Mann does a really good job at like showcasing LA and he kind of makes it look beautiful sometimes, but it is just fundamentally a less I find it less interesting.
I think a movie that absolutely thrives in its setting in LA is Nightcrawler.
No, because it's about LA sucking. Like it has
It's
to be.
about the predatory nature of the media, and
Yeah.
it fits. It's
It
perfect.
fits
I
perfect.
really like that film.
So
Jake
you like
Gyllenhaal
a
kind of freaks me out.
you like a movie about LA if it recognizes kind of the awfulness as opposed to a movie that kind of glamorizes and glorifies LA.
Yeah, I don't think there's much, glamour to
I get what you're saying. Well, Hollywood, holler at us. We're shitting on your town.
what's up.
Yeah, this is a good move.
Dude, we're throwing down the gauntlet. We're
Yeah.
Gaslight Game Show takes on Hollywood. Let's see who comes out on top.
Who's bigger, right?
Technically, we are less diverse than Hollywood, which is
We're less diverse than most things, I would argue.
on that note, hey everyone, and welcome to Gaslight Game Show, the only character-driven game show with real-world consequences. This is episode 5 of season 2, Tortillas All Go Stale. Now, just so you all know, that was not the only option for the title of this episode. Let's see if after I read all of them, you can guess what the movie was. Crimea is for sale. Korean fairy tale, tortillas all go stale, the one we decided upon. Philia for a snail, pea in a holy grail, Pangea Express Mail, economies of scale, and I need a Molotov cocktail. So, everyone, please feel free to comment and say which title you think we should have gone with, or you know what? Come up with one of your own. So, for Gaslight Game Show, every week a movie is selected and we all watch it. And every week, each of our 3 contestants creates their own character and writes reviews for that film in their voices. The contestants swap their creations amongst themselves and read each other's work here live for the first time, responding to questions as the characters they wrote for one another. The catch, I have to guess who originally wrote what. Every episode has a winner and a loser. Winners get rewarded and losers get punished. No one's safe, not even me. As always, our contestants are Josh Horst.
What's going on?
Avery Baker.
Hello.
And I'm your host, Max McCune. This week, we have a very special featured guest, Jeffrey Nolan. Jeffrey, would you please tell everyone a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I think if I had one word to describe how I'm feeling today, I would probably say silly.
That might be the worst, worst one we've had. Before we start, let us say our prayer to our editor, Samantha, one of the most important parts of our show. Saint Samantha, we ask you for guidance and thank you for your grace in the twilight of our decency and goodness. Amen.
Amen.
Moving on. Today, for episode 5 of season 2, Josh elected that we watch Madea Goes to Jail, a movie whose title and advertisements do not accurately portray what to expect from the majority of its runtime. But before we dance into this minefield, we unfortunately have some business to attend to. Everyone, what time is it?
Punishment
Time.
Time.
That is right. Last week, Josh won, but with winners come losers. And last week, I lost. And everybody, please let us know what do losers get.
Punish.
That is right. I lost. And as punishment, I was asked to go to a dive bar dressed as a Pinocchio or Tweedledum-esque character. Requirements of this include a silly little hat, big white collar with a big bow, suspenders, short shorts, and high white socks. In that costume, at that bar, I was tasked with finding a stranger to play in a game of pool. And every time I got a ball in the pocket, I had to say, try that one on for size. I was asked to record the experience, and I have a video to present today. Is everyone ready?
I'm
Oh my
so
God,
fucking
yeah.
ready.
I'm so excited.
This is my
Alright.
number one look forward to punishment. Out of all of our options, this is the one I'm the most excited to see.
Okay. All right, everyone put yourselves on mute. Well, don't put yourselves on mute yet. I'm gonna make sure I'm sharing it correctly. I'm getting like the same nerves I got before I had to do this. I'm getting like some like throwback
Like short of
anxiety.
breath.
Can I tell you that the fear, like the nerves I had before going into this rival the nerves I've had with almost any public situation.
Yeah.
Try that one on for size.
Now we're also just wasting.
Try that on muscle.
Yeah, we're not great at this.
Try that one on for size.
I have a lot.
No, this is it. I don't know.
You should say it. You should say it.
Trying that on for thighs.
Try that one on for size.
That's when Pinocchio tries to get serious.
He was being very serious.
Try that on for size.
Yeah, Pinocchio's got that moose knuckle going on. It's distracting.
Try that one on for size.
What's up, guys? My name is Chef Chris Dotson, and I just got my ass whooped by Pinocchio, and I tried a lot of things on for size this time. And that's it.
Can people find you online?
Yeah, you can find me at chris@chefchrisd.com.
Hell yeah.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Max, I think you're the only person I know who could do that and not get their ass fucking handed to them.
Okay, I'm gonna
So-
tell you the fear I had, like the minute I put on the costume, I was like, I think I'm gonna get beat up. I think I didn't realize what it looked like. But I will say, I continue to just suck them in with my charm. They accept it, and then they're fine. Now, let me tell you, that guy. I went, "Are you cool being on camera?" And he went, "I'm really used to cameras." That man won Chopped. He won an episode of Chopped. He's on Beat Bobby Flay, and he is a private chef for some billionaire families. And I looked him up, and he's all over the news and won an episode of Chopped. And I just randomly asked him if I could play him in pool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Jeffrey, I think, kind of looks like Bobby Flay.
interesting.
Well-
Here, does this help it? I'm Bobby Flay.
He's from the Southwest.
I was taking
Name's Gordon
gambling.
Ramsay.
Can you imagine a
gambling.
Can you imagine a British guy named Bobby Flay? I will say my personal favorite part is the beginning, watching me get dressed. I was
Yeah.
I
happy.
love
with
the
it.
Mozart. That was a really nice touch.
Thank you.
Seeing it
Thank
go to your face the first time was an absolute jump scare. That
Yeah.
was terrifying. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I would say not only is this Max, I think this is all around your best punishment, like
Thank you.
best content, best editing. Like you really kicked it up several
Thank
levels for this. This
Thank
ripped.
Josh
Yeah.
and I were talking beforehand about the only thing that makes the punishment suck a little less is if you have a good end product. So I was like, might as well. Silver lining. I really pushed it though. I did this yesterday. I really kept pushing it off. And finally I just suited up, went to the bar, and I had a guy ask me if I was at Oktoberfest. I was like, nope.
I get that.
Fair
Yeah, no, I
question,
did.
Yeah.
No, it made a lot of sense.
I think now is as good a time as any to bring this up as a potential talking point. I don't think we have to wait for a business meeting. I brought it up to the other two, and I want to table it real quick. We were thinking about maybe making that costume your punishment costume, where anytime you get punished, you know that you'll have to wear that costume to make it worth the investment.
Yeah, absolutely not. That
Well, no, you're not thinking of it
No,
right. It's like a
no.
uniform.
It's
You
like
know
a
how people have
uniform.
uniforms because it's a job. It'll make
Yeah.
it more like you'll
Hey,
be in
I-
hospitality.
I
When
have
are
a
you ever
good
going to use that again?
I have a good number of punishments on there that would be 10 times as bad if I was dressed in that fucking costume. You can propose it with each new punishment going forward, but you cannot add it to the ones I've already said are okay.
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 He's
All right,
got
I
us
think
there. He's
when
got
you
us
do
in
it,
fine print.
Then we'll say, can you wear your punishment costume with this? and we'll see how you feel.
We will discuss. We will discuss. All right. Well, I'm glad that's over. Thanks, guys. I'm glad that can be everywhere on the internet now. All right. Now, before we hear what these three wrote, we are going to chat about the movie. On IMDb, the synopsis for Madea Goes to Jail is mischievous grandma Madea lands in jail, where she meets a variety of mixed up characters. I'm sure we all have lots to say. I will preface this, everybody. I told my contestants earlier, I was so focused on my punishment, I forgot to watch this movie. So everything I've heard so far has baffled me. I do not understand. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's hear what you all have to say.
First off, I want to say mischievous grandma Madea lands in jail where she meets a variety of mixed up characters describes max 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, you know what? Every time that I think it was a good idea to take out the synopsis portion, one of these comes along, and then
Pops back up.
and then you got to address the synopsis and how it just doesn't do it justice.
It does not do it justice. That synopsis is maybe the worst synopsis we've had.
Yeah.
Though I do think that is in line with the way this film was marketed. It was great. This is crazy. This is not at all the movie that I was expecting to watch.
I was expecting. Go ahead, Avery.
No, I was gonna ask, I think we said this before, but had anyone else seen a Madea movie before this?
No, just you.
Okay. Go
So
ahead.
what was new to me was Tyler Perry essentially using a stereotype to market a different movie and saying like, come see it for the funny character, and then the character's in there for maybe 25% of it, and the rest of it is a very serious melodrama about, in this case, prostitution and the difficulties of that, and did a deep dive into Tyler Perry's Madea. And that's pretty much what every single Madea film is trying to highlight a different rung of the Black experience. And crazy.
Was the other Madea film that you had seen, Avery, like that?
Yes, I saw it when I was in middle school in the theaters because one of my very good friends wanted to go see a movie, and we did. I did not know what movie it was going to be. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. I do think it was a Madea Family Funeral was the one we saw. There was a little bit more Madea in that one, I will say. Yeah.
I really liked all of the Madea scenes, all of the Tyler Perry scenes. I genuinely laughed in a decent amount of them. I think Tyler Perry is pretty remarkably talented. I think he and Viola Davis could have just done their own movie together, and I would have watched it and loved it. I think
Viola Davis is in this movie?
Yeah, and she
Yes.
fucking kills it, dude.
And
she
she's
rocks. She's given like
Wait, which character is she?
Ella?
Ellen? Okay.
Is it
I
Ellen?
watched the YouTube synopsis just so I'd have some idea of what was going on, a 7-minute breakdown. And very baffling. I did not expect the vast majority of those plot points. It was pretty entertaining. I was shocked to find that this synopsis was posted 6 months ago of Madea Goes to Jail. I believe it's a new thing where AI voices read AI descriptions of movies and crank out YouTube videos of them.
Yeah.
Which did not help my understanding, but it made for its own bizarre experience.
AI could not write this. There's just no way.
I'm gonna do it.
Just conceptually, I think it's very funny that the two Madeas I ever hold in my head or have heard of are Tyler Perry in drag and the tragic Greek heroine, who killed her own kids.
I prefer Tyler Perry. I was so struck by his ability. He's very talented.
I was gonna say every Madea scene was delightful. I had a blast. The scenes with Dr. Phil where he just did the thing that he does, a blast, a fun little surprise in there. And then the melodrama parts were shockingly serious. Getting kidnapped, getting things, it's like you had to, I don't know if that made those Madea scenes funnier because you had just seen someone be kidnapped and abused, and then you were like, oh, thank God, there's a car being dropped. you know, I just don't know. But
I didn't know movies could do that. Like this made me think about film differently. I have thought more about Madea than I did about Oppenheimer. This was it was foundational for me. Like it's formatted in it's such a in a way that I've just never experienced. Like it just pulls you from place to place at the speed of light, and you just kind of have to hang on. Also, it was a play beforehand, and that really shines through in I think in the dialogue and the way it's shot. It felt like a play.
when I searched it at first, I clicked on the earlier version and I didn't see play. It's from 2006. And I almost watched the play version. That was very evident that it was a play immediately, but that also threw me for a loop. Crazy.
Shout out
All in all,
Tyler
I'm
Perry.
really happy I watched it.
Yeah.
Shout out Tyler Perry.
I gotta catch up on this one. I missed out, but it is fun to hear about. It is fun to hear about it with no comprehension of the actual mood of the film, the tone.
Some movies we watch, if you miss it, I'm like, no need. This one, genuinely, I don't think I've seen another movie like this. This is a crazy movie.
That is special. That's a special thing to say about a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are out of time.
Out of time. Well, that was honestly, I will say, prompted one of our more robust discussions about a movie. Good for Tyler Perry and Madea Goes to Jail. All right, now on to the reviews. These three watched Madea Goes to Jail, generated a name, age, and location for a character, and then wrote a movie review in their voice. You'll hear each of them read 4 main sections in character. 1, character bios. 2, get to know you questions. 3, improvised responses. And 4, the movie review. Everything except the improvised responses have been written for them beforehand. This is also the first time the contestants have seen each other's work. It's a cold read. They have no idea what they're about to say. And I have no idea which of them made what character and corresponding review. The writer is not necessarily the reader, and I have to guess who wrote what. They're trying to trick me because if I get them all wrong, I lose. But if I get even one right, then whichever one of them I score the lowest is the loser. No matter what, someone's getting shafted. There will always be a loser, and losers get
punished.
punished. Always in unison, always so tight, so good. All right. We're going to start by getting to know each character with a structured interview, do some off-the-cuff Q&A as a group, and to finish off, we'll hear the reader's movie review. Our first reader is last week's winner, Josh. Josh, would you please introduce your character and give us the title of your review?
My name is Jacques Delfino. I am 49 years old, and I'm from Des Allemands, Louisiana. The title of my review is A Simple Snapping Turtle Wrangler.
Jacques, all right. Nice to meet you all the way from Louisiana. Jacques, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Before her, I was a simple snapping turtle wrangler. I did shows around the bayou. They go like this. I take a turtle, I knock him in the head, I make a root, put that turtle in a stew, and then you get some too. A simple snapping turtle wrangler. But then, about a year or so ago, you would not believe who sat down at my show. A beautiful, famous woman whose name I cannot disclose. We get to talking. We found ourselves in romance. And before you could say etouffee, we were bound in holy matrimony. True love. Sure, there have been ups and downs. We in a hurricane of a rough patch right now. I'm a simple, snapping turtle wrangler. She don't understand. I'm from the bayou, so many of my friends are down on their luck. So I let them stay in our house. All 42 of them. They work hard, they pay rent, I help them get back on their feet. Ain't nothing wrong with being a good Samaritan. Why can't you see that, Lana? I mean, Sugar?
Jacques, that's right. We didn't hear it. Jacques, that's mostly a beautiful story. I'm sorry to hear there's some turmoil going on right now. You said some of your friends were down on their luck, Jacques. If you won the lottery, what would you do first?
I already did. I found true love, and my true love had lots of money from being a world famous singer woman. That's how I could afford 42 beds and cameras to furnish our new home in Hollywood as a business expense. It was an adjustment for me, leaving my humble trailer home. Not many snapping turtles in Beverly Hills. I was depressed. I missed my turtles. I missed the bayou. I got that summertime. I got that summertime sadness. I got that summertime. Oh no, that's gonna violate the DNA. Anyway, all my down on their luck friends live with us now. And now I have a job again, like a turtle wrangler, but for humans.
Interesting. Okay. Jacques, what is your strangest irrational fear?
That one day, when I die, I'll go to heaven, and all the snapping turtles I cooked into a stew will be there waiting for me. And before I can go through those pearly gates, they each gonna take a bite out of me. I'm also afraid of my marriage being ruined by my new lucrative business of being a simple, down-to-earth human wrangler. I have true love, but I don't have my turtles. I don't have my swamp. A man needs a job, and that's all it is. Good, charitable work for 42 young men and women who take clients in our home. What's so wrong and illegal about that?
Uh, I'm gonna let our two other contestants maybe take that one. Does anyone have any questions they would like to ask Jacques?
Yeah, Jacques, what's the biggest turtle you ever wrangled?
Well, I tell you, boy, back in the bayou in the swamp, when I was but a young man, I went into the swamp and I found a turtle that had been gorging himself on shrimp, shrimp, or on rocks. And he had a name. He had a name scrawled on his side. His name was Abrams Odell. And I said, oh boy, that's a big turtle. And I went up alongside Abrams Odell with my knife. And I said, swamp gonna get you, Abrams Odell. Swamp gonna, that's how the swamp gonna get you. And I tried to stab into him, but his shell was too hot. My knife broke. I had to go back home. I went home and I picked up my elephant gun and I went back into the swamp to look for Abrams Odell one more time. And I went and I told the sheriff, I said, Sheriff, I'm gonna go in the swamp. I'm trapping turtle skins in the swamp. And the sheriff said, boy, you can't be trapping turtle skins in the swamp. And I said, Sheriff, this ain't no normal turtle. It's a giant turtle named Abrams Odell. And so I went back in the swamp, and then I got right up on Abrams Odell. I said, Abrams Odell, you ain't ever been afraid of anything in your life. You've been gorging yourself on shrimp your whole life, shrimp all and rocks. And I put that elephant gun right up into his head, and he came down and he bit my arm off, clean right down to the shoulder. You can't see it, but my left arm gone. And I said, that's the last shrimp you ever gonna gorge yourself on, Abrams Odell. And I pulled the trigger and I blew him to pieces.
You can
Wow.
feel him sinking more into the character.
Jacques, earlier we had a different chef who made an appearance on the show, and I understand that you're a chef. You talked about that you killed the turtles and then you made a roux. Can you walk us through the steps of making a roux?
Oh, absolutely. That's something that I do. That's something that I do every day. I'll tell you, the first step in making a roux is my left arm gone clean up to the elbow. I can't use my left arm, so I use my right arm. I grab my big paddle, and I get the fly and I get the herb, and I put it in a big old bathtub and I put it over a fire, and I get that fire going, and then I put the oil and the flour in there, and I start stirring around, and then I gotta go and get myself a turtle. So I go. Ain't no more turtles as big as Aaron's Odell out there. And so then, ain't no more turtles that big as Aaron's Odell out there. No turtles now. I'm mostly in the swamp trapping alligator skin. Well, these days I'm out there getting turtles, big snapping turtles.
Okay, we'll get the rest of the recipe later.
Hold on. Hold on. I got more. I got more parts of the recipe.
Oh, thank God.
So I'll keep on stirring. I'll keep on stirring after I got some turtles. And then I'll take that shell and I'll crush them up into powder. And I put the powder in a soup, in the roux. And I'll keep on stirring it. And you want to get past, you can have a white roux, you can have a peanut butter roux, or you can have a dark roux. I like myself to have a peanut butter roux. That's the best roux for shrimp. So after I powder up that shell, actually I have a sack laying around from Abrams Odell. His shell was so big that I still have a sack of powder from his shell because I crushed it up with rocks. And I put that in the roux and thicken it up nice. And I get some shrimp. I'll throw that in the roux, and then I'm ready to do a show.
Thank you.
All right. Wow. Okay. We all got to try it. I'd love to taste a peanut butter roux. I'll try it sometime, Jacques. Get back to you, Jacques. What did you think of the movie?
I'm a simple snapping turtle turn. Down to earth human wrangler. And I appreciate this movie because it proves the point I've been trying to make. Just like Joshua in the movie with Candace, I'm just helping these 42 young men and women get back on their feet. I know them all personally. We grew up in the bayou together. They live in our house. Shit, we got enough room. They take clients. I take the majority of their pay. That's only fair. And make sure they always have clean needles. I hope my famous singer wife sees this. I did this for you, my beautiful snapping turtle queen. It's you. It's you. It's all for you. Everything I do, I tell you, oh, there I go again, violating the DNA. I'm in over my head. I'm afraid I'm afraid I'm gonna go to jail like Madea. I never should have left the bayou. I should have just stayed a simple snapping turtle wrangler.
All right, Jacques, that was great. An appearance from someone I think we may have been seeing in the news recently, but I don't want to violate the DNA, so I won't say who. What did everyone think of the first character, Jacques?
Honestly, poetic. There was something beautiful about the repetition. I don't know.
It was endearing.
What was his job again?
I think he was pimping out 42 people from the bayou.
Crazy you said that. He is a simple snapping turtle wrangler.
That's what it was.
Okay. I must have misunderstood.
Max, it's active listening. You gotta do it. Sometimes details come and go in a snap.
If you're gonna host, listen to the guests.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like he didn't say his job enough. I didn't really get it. Okay. Well, Just because it's Southern, I'm giving that one to Avery at the beginning. You know how I do. I'll shuffle it around. I'll probably get them wrong. I'll probably have been right and then change my mind. Everyone make your guess as to who wrote Jacques in the comments, so you can gloat if you got it right and I didn't. All right, we have 2 more left. So our next reader is Jeffrey. Jeffrey, would you please introduce your character and give us the title of your review?
My name is Isaac Cully. I am 48 years old, and I live in Flagstaff, Arizona, where I am a junior corrections officer. And the title of my review is How I Learned to Touch Myself.
All right, Isaac. Isaac, welcome to the show. It's an interesting start. I'm wary to ask you further questions. Would you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Oh, all right, pulling out the notes.
Good afternoon. My name is Isaac Cully, and I am from Flagstaff, Arizona. I look forward to sharing my testimony tonight. My name is Isaac Cully, and I am from Flagstaff, Arizona. In Flagstaff, our city motto is, "You can learn a lot by watching," which is not just a great motto. It's very true, too. As a junior corrections officer and as a caretaker for my demented mother, watching is my life and my job. I watch for everything from contraband to escape attempts, but most of all, I watch for touching. No touching! That's the big rule, both in the facility and with my mom. But a life of watching and no touching can get pretty lonely. I try my best to be friends with the guys in the jail. I say things like, "Hey, big guy," and "Chin up, pal," to see if I can get a high five, but they don't really want to be my friend. When I come close to my mom, she starts to scream and take her clothes off. So what's a guy to do? Well, the other day I heard some of the guys talking about how they keep catching the inmates touching themselves. Suddenly, it all clicked. The inmates are just like me. So I gave it a shot, and boy, did it change my life. And it'll change yours too. Here, let me show you. Oh. 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 Oh.
All right. Isaac, Isaac, I was kind of transfixed. Isaac, sorry to interrupt. What's been the best day of your life so far?
The day I first held my own hand, no question.
Hmm.
Shh. Oh. There
That
it
was
is.
good. I'm sure that was a special day. I wish we could have been there to see it. Isaac, are you close with your family?
It's hard to answer that question because it feels like I've lost parts of the connection I once had with her. My mom has dementia, and while she's still physically here, The person she was is slowly slipping away. Someday she recognizes me, and on others she doesn't. I still love her deeply, but it's painful because our relationship has changed so much. I'm no longer just her child, I'm her caretaker, which is difficult in ways I never anticipated. I miss I I miss the conversations that we used to have and the ways she used to be so present in my life. And now it's like I'm trying to hold on to pieces of someone I love who is slowly disappearing.
Isaac.
So in a way, I'm sharing about my mom. So in a way, yes, I'm close to her, but not in the way I wish I could. The way I wish I could be. It's complicated and heartbreaking.
All right, Isaac. Glad you came on the show today. Isaac, we're gonna open the floor. Does anyone else have any questions they would like to ask?
Yeah. What's your favorite food?
Classic.
That's a really good question, and I'm glad you asked it. When I watch the inmates, sometimes I get lonely watching how lonely they are. And so what I like to have is a cake. My special treat for myself that I buy once a month is I go to the Cub in Flagstaff and I get a cake with a lot of frosting. And then I go to the inmates and I eat it while I watch them. And I like to offer them a piece of the cake. And I say, hey, do you, hey, I say, hey, do you want a piece of cake? And they're not allowed to take the cake. That's not how the prison works. But so I eat a piece of cake for them. But that doesn't count as my piece of cake because that's their piece of cake. So I get to have lots of different pieces of cake, more than just one. My mother, even with her demented state and her often crazy eyes and grasping hands, she often strictly monitors my portions. But once a month, I'm allowed to have more than one cake because it's not my cake, it's their cake, and it's my secret loophole. And even my demented mother cannot stop me.
Wow. I'm sorry. Have you ever lived on your own?
That's a really good question, and one that I'm happy to answer as well. While most of my life has been spent being cared for by or caring for my demented mother with her flaring nostrils and her ponderous odor, there was one time when I was a sophomore in high school that we had a sleepaway camp. And because of another health scare that my mother had, she had to drop out from being a volunteer. So I was able to go to the Museum of Natural History by myself. Everybody was supposed to sleep in the dinosaur exhibit, but I snuck away to the planetarium and slept under the fake stars. In Flagstaff in the city, you don't see a lot of stars, but in the planetarium you do. And for the first time in my life, I was able to dream of something more. What would it be like to have the open sky above me instead of the gnashing teeth and the heavy footfalls of my demented mother? But just as I was drifting off, excited for what dreams my mind, so captive by my mother, would be able to dream, she came in and grabbed my hand and said, "It's time to go home. You don't sleep without me."
Oh,
I had to
no.
sleep in my little bed at the foot of her bed. We call it little bed and big bed. because I had lost my privilege for the week for my own bed. For Isaac bed.
That's a sad one. That was a sad one, Isaac, but thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. I'm sure we all do. Isaac, what did you think of the movie?
Good. Well, good movie. Wow. Yeah. I'm still a little out of breath from earlier. That the security guard, the one in the movie, had the right idea. Yeah. Let the inmates touch themselves. Let them touch each other. Wow. I need a fucking cigarette.
Oh, wow. All right. What did everyone think of our first character, Isaac?
Pretty chill dude.
That was riveting.
Oh,
Pretty chill.
It was cool.
Kind of painful. Kind of painful.
tough.
I'm glad he's, found some joy in his life. I'm very torn on who wrote this one. I'm gonna guess Jeffrey for now. And I'm not feeling confident about this episode, and I really can't lose twice in a row. I really can't lose again. Okay. That means that I need Avery to be our last reader, so I can try to whittle this down. Avery, would you please introduce your character and give us the title of your review? Hopefully, a little less as some of what Isaac brought, but we'll see. Avery, would you please introduce your character and give us the title of your review?
Yeah. Definitely.
Do
Why don't
use
you
the
say that
song?
again? Why don't you say that one more time, Max?
Yeah.
Hey, Avery, would you please introduce your character and give us the title of your review?
I'm gonna end it all. I'm gonna end it all. I'm gonna end it all. Dude, I'm gonna end it. I'm really gonna Dude, I'm really gonna do it. I'm really gonna end it.
It's okay. It's okay. What's your name?
My name is Herman White. I'm 27. I'm from Sacramento. And the title of my review is It's All So Fucked Up.
You say Furman?
Herman White.
Or you say Furman? Furman.
It's Herman White. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. I'm not gonna be around.
Okay. Would you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe we could help.
I really mean it, dude. I'm gonna end it. God, it's so messed up. I just don't know what to do. Fuck!
All right, let's move into the questions.
No!
You seem to be having a rough time, dude.
I am. Why don't you be normal? Why don't you ask me why I'm having a tough time?
Because I don't really care. Furman, what's wrong? What's going on?
You want to know what's wrong? You don't really care.
Sure, yeah, what's going on?
It's the horse, man.
The whores?
It's a movie. Fuck! I can barely see the road. I'm crying. Okay, I'm crying so hard, and they were so fucking mean to the horse. I can't believe they have to live like that with people calling him names and not trusting them. Even the lawyers, the even the lawyer's dude's girl was mean to the whore. She was always acting like she was on her period around her. Fuck! I had no idea people were so awful to whores. For what? For what? Why? She goes on the street corner every night just doing what she loves, trading blowies for crack, and they hate her for that.
Okay, let me get this straight.
I never knew.
You want to end it all?
Turn left. Turn left in 3 miles onto I-95.
Hey, Furman, are you driving into traffic because they were mean to the prostitutes and goes to jail?
End it all, dude. I'm really into
Okay. Are you open to some questions, maybe?
it. Doesn't matter.
Okay, what is an issue? I think I might know this one. What's an issue you're passionate about, Furman?
This dude.
Is it the horse? Is it the horse?
This dude. I can't stop thinking about this. It's so fucked up. I wouldn't do that shit.
Avery. I mean Furman. Furman. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't call her names. If I ever booked another whore, I would treat her right, you know? I'd fuck her good. I'd ask her where she wants it, and I'd ask her if she came, and I'd trust what she said. Not that it would fucking matter. Not that it would fucking matter. There's so many mad people in the world who wouldn't even give a whore the time of day. Fuck!
Okay, I think I'm getting a clearer picture. You're upset about how they treated the horse in the movie because you yourself have been utilizing their services in the past.
Turn left. Turn left in 2 miles onto I-95.
Okay,
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Furman, look, I think we have 2 miles. We have 2 miles to calm you down. It's fine. Nothing you've done can't be undone. Let's take your mind off it. Furman, when's your birthday?
There's not gonna be a next birthday.
Okay.
I'm doing this for the whores.
Furman, I don't think the whores even want you to kill yourself.
Someone's gotta take a stand.
Will they know? Will they know that's why you did it?
You tell my story.
I'll tell your story. Okay, Furman.
Tell my story.
Does anyone else have any questions? Does anyone else want to help?
Yeah, man. How fast you going right now?
Oh, dude. I'm getting onto the highway. I'm going to a solid 85.
Yeah,
it's a 50
fast,
right now.
fast.
But I'm going 85, but I'm going to go so much faster than that. You have to go so much faster. I looked it up, and in order to make sure it happens, so you don't just get in a car crash, you have to go at least above 90. You have to go above 90. So I was thinking maybe 95, 98, but I want to do my best. So I was thinking maybe upwards of 120. I'm gonna see how fast this baby can go. How fast my 4-door sedan. It's a Volkswagen. I'm gonna see how fast this Volkswagen can go.
Thank you for the extra detail.
I think he can do 100.
It paints a picture. Thank you, Furman. Jeffrey, do you have any maybe last questions for Furman?
Furman, how'd you get the name? Any story behind the name Furman?
You should know this because I think you're the last people I'm gonna talk to. It's my mother's maiden name. So you can use that to find her to tell her I did it for the Lord.
Furman, I think you need to think this through a little more. What did you think of the movie? I think you can find a way out of this, Furman.
No, this movie ruined my life. Okay,
Okay.
I can't go on like this knowing there's so much fucked up shit in the world. People bullying whores.
Turn left in 400 feet onto
No, you're getting so
I-95.
no.
I tried, man. Like,
Furman, you're getting too close. You're getting too close. I need to.
no.
stop
Like,
you.
I tried, man. Like, I tried to fix it, you know? I called everyone that I knew. I spent like a fucking hour and a half on the phone, okay? I called 911. I called my mom and like 7 different Hooters. I even tried to call that unfunny bitch from Girls. Lena something because I thought maybe she knew something, but nothing. Nobody even cared at all.
Recalculating.
And I just can't fucking do it anymore, dude. I'm
Wrong
done.
way. Wrong way. One-way road.
This one's for the horse.
Danger.
Dude,
Turn
Furman,
back now.
Furman,
Danger.
Furman,
Turn back now.
Furman,
Turn
don't
back
do it.
now.
Furman,
Turn back now.
Furman, turn back.
Oh.
I cannot believe how long that sound effect was.
He was going the wrong way, dude.
I feel guilty. I feel guilty. I
Yeah.
could have stopped it. All right, what everyone think of our third character?
Pretty chill dude.
Might disagree with that one.
I think he had some problems, but you know what? I like that he did something. I like it that he saw a problem and he did something about it. And maybe not the right thing, but he did something.
Yeah.
I don't really know how much it helped.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, he
You know,
took a
Winston
stand.
Churchill once said, "You have enemies? Good. It means you've stood up for something in your life."
wow.
You know, Lin-Manuel Miranda once said, "I'd rather be divisive than indecisive." And I think what Furman did was not indecisive, but it may have been divisive.
Right.
All right, before
Sandra
we get
Bullock in the movie. No, Sandra Bullock in the in the movie Drive said, "I'm gonna drive this bus," and she did. And I think that's kind of.
You mean Speed? You mean the movie Speed?
I mean the movie Drive.
I think
Okay,
it's
I
the
want
movie
the-
Drive.
I want
I mean the
them
movie
to,
Drive.
I want them to remake Drive, but Sandra Bullock is Ryan Gosling with the scorpion jacket.
Yeah,
Oh,
movie.
okay. All right. Well, that rattled me. This is a rough three. This is a rough three. They were all very good. I'm gonna say Josh. That's who I'm giving that one to. We'll see though. Okay. So I'm not locking in my answers yet because now that we've heard all the reviews, we first have to get to our fuck, marry, kill ranking. There's no children, so we don't have to kill any kids this week. We got Furman, we got Jacques, and we got Isaac. Okay. That's a rough one. That's a rough one.
This is tough.
I'm marrying Jacques. He's honestly my most likable of the three. I think he is running a whorehouse of downtrodden Louisiana bayou people. But, you know, I'm gonna marry Jacques to be like Lana Del Rey. I'm gonna fuck. Oh, dude, I'm gonna fuck Isaac because he needs it, and I'm gonna kill Furman because he wants it.
You know,
Honestly, I think that's kind of the order.
I
That's
don't often
actually-
agree with Max on this, but I'm gonna side with you.
Yeah, I think Max also all that reasoning. I think that's exactly that's
And I
my
don't
exact
think you'd
reasoning.
have to even like go all the way with Isaac. I think
No, I
you
could like.
I think you could touch him and it'd be done.
I
I think
go
Isaac could touch
this.
himself and it would be done.
Yeah.
I think you could
Honestly, he might just want me to watch, and that's not as big a deal.
It's like honestly, that's kind of a homie move, right? I'll just
Homie
watch
move. Yeah, just being a bro, you know?
I'm
You
being
give
a
him the
bro.
best day of his life.
Okay, this section's gonna suck because these were really close for me. Okay, now before we officially learn who wrote what, I have to blindly rate the writing and reading we've enjoyed. Okay. The scoring categories are, as always, 5 points for the funniest written review, which review made you laugh the most, 4 points for the best written review, which review was crafted most cohesively, 3 points for the best performance, which contestant really brought their character to life, 2 points for the best improvised response, which contestant gave the best improvised response, and 1 point for the best improvised question, which contestant asked the best improvised question. Okay, best improvised question. That's the one I always kind of forget to keep track of as it's happening. Best improvised question is, honestly, what's the biggest turtle you ever caught? Because it leads me into number 2, the best improvised response, which is Abram Odell. That was the best improvised response. We had some good ones though. We had some good ones. A lot of detail in all 3 of your performances today. 3 points for the best performance. Which contestant really brought their character to life? Now, this is rough. The commitment from Avery, the touching from Jeffrey, and the general embodiment and accent from Josh make this a rough one for me. Purely because of the pronunciation of "that's gonna be your last shrimp you ever eat." I'm gonna give that one to Josh.
Yeah.
I believed he was the character. I believed
Yeah.
it. 4 points for the best written review. Which review was crafted most cohesively? Fuck. I'm gonna give it to Isaac. I'm gonna give that one to Isaac. I laughed really hard at Isaac, and I'm gonna give funniest written review to, or I did laugh really hard at Isaac, but I think the balancing of both the inmates and the mother with the no touching thing, impressive balance to walk, and I'm gonna give 5 points to Furman for funniest written review. I'm gonna do that. So, give yourself your points accordingly. And now I have to guess who wrote each review. Contestants, ready your whiteboards to record your score. If I fail to guess the correct writer, the contestant and author gets a point, but if I do find them out, they lose a point. If I fail to guess any of the 3, I lose. If there's a tie, the contestant with the higher scored point category wins. And if I, the host, fail to win or lose for 4 straight games, I automatically lose that game. So I really want to get these right. I'll start by guessing who wrote Jacques, which I'm going to guess was Avery. And then I'm going to go Jeffrey for my boy Isaac. And then I'm going to go Josh for our boy Furman. So let's figure out where the rest of these points go. Who really wrote Jacques?
I did, baby.
I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do a Furman. Who really wrote Isaac?
I did.
And who really wrote Furman?
I did. Whoa! Whoa!
We just got the biggest turtle that I ever. I thought that Abrams Odell was the biggest turtle we ever got, but we just got another one.
We got 2 host
Yes!
wins
Okay.
right into 2 host losses. Perfectly balanced.
That's
all
a
things should
big
be.
turtle we just got up on the boat.
What's
gotta-
important is the game still works. You know what I mean?
game
That's
works.
what we had
The
to
game
prove,
fucking
Max. Because
works, too.
remember when you won the second one, you were like, oh man, maybe we're gonna have to, you were kind of gloating a little bit.
I actually really don't know what to do now that you guys have just totally
Look
fooled
at me.
I don't
Never
know
do
where
that
to,
again.
I
Never
don't
do
know.
that again.
I don't know where to go now. I don't know how to get better at guessing. I don't know how to improve at the game. I don't know how to make sure this happens less. Yeah, pretty upset. We're gonna announce a special announcement, guys. New host in a couple of weeks. We're about to be fucking hostless. All right, everyone, hold your. I don't care who won. Hold your whiteboards up with your score. All right, Jeffrey won. Jeffrey, which one did you write?
Wow.
I wrote Furman.
Okay. The worst part about me losing is I still have to finish the episode. All right. Jeffrey, what movie are we gonna watch this week?
I think we have something else to do first.
Oh, is it the
Oh,
punishments first? God damn it. Okay. All
What's
right,
that?
I'm gonna mute myself while you guys
Yeah.
discuss my punishment. Cool.
Max, for next week's episode, you have to wear a tight rubber band around your neck for the entirety of an episode. And if you fiddle with it or complain, you have to do it again. And we mean that. Josh had to smile.
I'm actually so concerned about my ability to do that, to literally feel okay and do the show with a rubber band around my neck. That's horrible. We've had this one since we started the show, and I've been hoping it wouldn't come up. Cool. Fuck you guys. This is a bad 2 weeks. Well,
That was
all
so
right.
sad.
That was sad.
such
I'm supposed to. Fuck. Okay. All right. It also explicitly says a tight rubber band. All right. That leaves us with one final matter, and it's learning what movie we'll be watching next week. The winner has the honor of choosing the next week's movie. Winner Jeffrey, please enlighten us with your selection.
Captain America, the first Avenger.
That's not even the best Captain America. The second one's
It's
better.
what he does. He chooses mid movies that none of us want to watch.
All right, I think we're gonna have a good time with the movie. And actually, fun fact, if you sort the MCU chronologically by timeline, not by release order, that's actually the first one.
I like to imagine that this is the beginning of the next 40 movies Jeffrey picks being in chronological MCU order. All right. Well, as always, when we get a selection from Jeffrey, it is a nice dull thud when it lands, and we have an okay time thinking about it. Not really. The humor is in the lack of anything. That's what he's really okay. The face is good. Well, we hope that we have a lot of MCU heads listening. Let's kick it off. We'll watch Captain America: The First Avenger. To our audience, we'd love for you to watch along with us. Now, listen, everyone. I've lived a long, good life. Watch Gaslight Gameshow on YouTube, listen to us on Spotify, and support us on our other platforms: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Patreon. We'll be coming out with a new episode every week, and we'd love to hear from all of you. Comment, reach out, be loud and annoying. We love that. If you comment something funny on any of our social media posts, or any insult to Jeffrey, we'll read it out loud on the episode.
What?
So long. It's been fun. Tune in soon for more torture. Bye for now.
What goes on in Jeffrey time? You might ask, well, that's up to just one man to pick. Jeffrey gets to pick what goes on in Jeffrey time. That's the shtick. So in Jeffrey time, he plays by himself. Nobody else can touch all his trains. Jeffrey plays with trains by himself. He plays with trains in the rain.
Avery, are you ready?
Yeah, sorry.
Please.
I don't see a back. Sometimes Jeffrey likes to do mouth things
I'm
all by
so sorry.
himself. In Jeffrey time, his tongue wiggles up and down and in and out. And sometimes there are boogers. They fall out of his nose 'cause he's eating a big hot piping bowl of soup. It goes into his nose, the vapors do, and then lots of boogers fall out. So in Jeffrey time, there's lots of cleanup as the boogers drip
done,
down,
it's done, it's
down,
up. I'm
down
so
his
sorry.
chest.
All right, Jeffrey's time's over.